Okay, hello. So I decided, hold on. That did nothing. Okay, so I decided to ask Earth some questions about themselves. And it was funny because this card popped out, Earth Magic, so we're talking to Earth right now. And I thought I'd share. Maybe I should ask if it's okay. Okay, so that's the first thing I'll do. Forgive. I know, that card's been coming out a lot. Okay, so Earth, first of all, is it okay if this conversation is... Okay, what's the energy of this conversation being shared? Or, yeah, I know that's probably... Okay, I think it's okay. Okay, I think it's okay. So Earth, how do you feel about the term Mama Earth? Do you connect to that? Or, like, how do you... Oh. Okay, that makes me feel good. Oh, that makes me feel really good. Not that it's about me, but I was just, I was thinking, lately I've been thinking a lot or talking a lot about fluidity and especially around gender and things like that. And I also don't believe in gender binaries at all. I think that gender is an expression, a creative expression that you decide what you connect, and not that it's a decision, but it's your experience. No one else gets to decide that for you. But anyway, so I was trying to make sure that I'm trying to make sure that I don't put boxes around spirit, around God, around the universe, around Earth. And sometimes, and I had a friend, Alex, share something that her friend had said to her around, why is Mama Earth called Mama Earth? Oh, I just saw 222. I see that number all the time. Ugh, I'm gonna have to go back to that reading. Gosh darn it. Anyways, I don't know why I did that. Anyways, okay. 1 second, because it's just like begging to be split. Ugh. But yeah. Okay, anyways. But yeah, so I asked Earth, Mama Earth, if she was okay with that name. And we obviously understand that pronouns, gender terms, all of that language, for me, everything is expansive and fluid. So if I'm ever saying she or her or he or him, or feminine or masculine, or mama or papa, in terms of spirituality, and it's not already, and not in terms of like someone's actual pronouns, but in terms of the spiritual stuff, I don't mean it rigidly, and I don't mean it like this is a strict gendered term. It's very open. It's just the term that feels most natural slipping off my tongue and most in alignment with whatever energies I'm talking about, but very, very openly. But anyways, look at that. Mother Earth was like, that's her safe space. And that's in response to the question, how does the name Mama Earth make you feel? Like a safe space. I just think that's so sweet. Ugh. Okay, I'm really glad to hear that. Anyways, hold on. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Okay. So I'll just show you what cards came out because I was really feeling encouraged to split the deck. But I don't really... I'm not going to read too much into it because I didn't ask any questions, so I'm sure it'll come out later. Believe in yourself and rest. And rest is behind there. Wow. Spirit just be working right through me. Wow, it's so interesting because it's like when Spirit and the Earth and all wants a certain card to come out or certain cards to come out, they're only going to give you those cards. like Sexual Wisdom, Kadesh had come out under Isis. Oh shit. Yes, that's when I was asking if it was okay for these to be filmed. And then this Sexual Wisdom is popping out under Isis or Aset, the goddess Aset, under Sacred Contracts. I'm just looking at these because all of these cards are cards that have been following me around, and I like to think of myself, I mean, I am part of the collective, so sometimes I feel like whatever, it's 11:11. Sometimes I feel like whenever a card comes out that's like, I just saw 555. All right. Whenever I get cards for myself, I also consider them for the collective because we're all one. And I've noticed with reading that whenever I give a reading, the message that I give to somebody also applies to myself. It's just crazy how interconnected we all are. Oh, I'm getting something. Hold on. It's really late. I just wanted to. There's something, I don't know if I'm picking up something around the heart chakra or if I'm picking up something around like, it's like something around modesty actually bringing out a deeper expression of sexuality or a deeper expression of like sexual expression, self-expression, but in a way that is really, that is healing. And it's not modesty in a way that is used for judgment, but modesty in a way where it's like a veil. It's like the veil over a bride, like when she's walking down the aisle, is kind of the feeling. And it's like when you're in your rest state, what is revealed? There's like some type of protection around. And I'm even thinking because like the breasts are like on people who give birth, the breasts are the food centers. So like the energy centers for the baby. And there's something around the chest. Anyways, I don't know. That was really random. Intuitive awakenings. I'm starting to feel like I'm giving myself a reading. Yeah, this is also, that's been following around too. Mother Mary, emotional healing. What is all of this about, Earth? Mama Earth, what is going on? Brave spirit. Bear your wounds. Oh my gosh. Ah, see? Ah. Again. There's something about this. Also, Earth is like, keep me out. Okay, Pona, you'll stay right there. There's something about, it's like opening your, yeah, okay, so maybe this is like about expansion of the heart center. 11:22, but it's also feeling like, it's like a revealing, a revelation or like an openness, a vulnerability, not being afraid to show, to bare your chest, to bare it all. Understanding that nothing else and no one else can interpret or can define for you what your expressions mean. No one else gets to decide that. No one else gets to judge that. You are the decider. But there's some type of power here. And brother, right here, we're living it well, we living it up on top. She's always early, never late. She's never early, always late. Brother, right here, we're living it well, we living it. Oh, okay. I just got this huge rust of sexual energy in a really positive way. And there was like this feeling, I just saw 11:11 again. There is like this feeling of like wanting to reclaim your freedom and your ability to feel as though you can reach for pleasure or the experience of pleasure whenever you want, or desire whenever you want. Like you're allowed to exercise your own sexual energy whenever you want, wherever you want, within your own body, within your own energetic space. It's like awakening each of our own individuals, like sexual bodies. Because you know how they're like, you have the energetic body, the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body, the mental body. Like, I don't know how many bodies there are, but it's like the sexual body is being awoken in the physical in a way where, like, it's kind of, for me, connecting to Tantra, where it's like being able to energetically feel the physically feel the energetic and feel stimulation and feel pleasure and feel desire and communication with the elements through your sexuality. And it's like lifting us to a higher place. I don't know. It's like being able to reach that peak without having to have any physical intervention, because we've now tapped into our sexual body and morphed it integrated it enough into the 3D where we can pull from the spiritual and all of our other bodies to feel that connection without having to have anyone else involved. And it's really empowering. And I think that's why there's like the exposed chest, and it's like it's no one's business but your own. And it's like openly existing in your sexual energy and not being bothered by anyone else and no one else being bothered by you. And it's like creating a new normal of everyone being in their sexual energy very openly and letting that just be. And there no more rules or restrictions around the body and what is good and what is bad and what is okay sexually and what is not, and just opening it up and expanding it within, obviously healthy, safe, consensual, all of that, but just being more fluid and more vulnerable, I think. More vulnerability and more expression of your truth, what is real, the skin on your chest. She's always early, never late. She's always early, never late. You know what? Rosology today was talking about how the upper chakras, so from the heart up, are a reflection of how you exist with the external world, and the lower chakras, so the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra, are all about your internal world, and it's about you. And that makes sense then, that like there's this exposure of the chest, and it's talking about this now, like living openly in your own body, your own sexual energetic body, and allowing that to be seen and visible to the outside world, but still having that boundary of this is my space. I decide what happens here and how this shows up in the world, but it's open for all to see. And there's no shame around that, and it's actually welcomed. It's a positive energy. And that's interesting because the heart chakra is about engaging with other people's feelings, feeling for other people, connecting with other people. And she was saying that the sacral chakra is where you feel for yourself, your personal feelings, but your heart chakra is your ability to connect with others. So it's interesting that this is open. I feel like we're unlocking deeper understandings of just how powerful sexual energy is, and unlocking hidden wisdom, especially with Lilith here. And this video keeps popping up on my YouTube page, and it's about the dark feminine. And I've been talking about the dark feminine with a lot of people's readings, because that energy comes through really, really often, and it comes through with myself. It's just we're in a movement as well, I believe, of like kind of the resurgence and like the rebirth of the dark feminine, and I think it's being spearheaded by Lilith. By Lilith. It's being spearheaded. When I think of Epona, I always think of Eve. I guess I do always think of Eve. I also think of Eve. And I also think that there's going to be this healing of relationships between women. And like, no more comparison, no more, especially in the folklore, like no longer allowing women to be pit against each other to create certain dynamics and storylines and all of that, because it's done a lot of damage and it's hurt us on both sides. And with this like rebirth of the dark feminine and all of the secrets coming out with her that are going to empower all of us, because there's dark feminine energy within every single being, and everything. It's also going to heal, these like clashes, and it's going to morph into one, and it's going to be really powerful. And I've been talking about how a lot of souls are finding their bodies, like their light bodies are being all of the bodies are being recollected and reconnected. And so now souls are becoming whole, and so that's why the spiritual is becoming physical, because they're reconnecting with their bodies. So we're able to actually see, like, the veil is really thin now at this point, because the veil is made out of, lost pieces of spirit. It's made out of fragments, but those fragments have been recovered and returned to the bodies of whoever they belong to, and ultimately to the body of spirit. And so now we're seeing spirit a lot more clearly, awakening. But this is a new level. And Earth's death is kind of a culmination of the end of all of these eras of loneliness and of being, separated from spirit in the physical, and moving back into emergence of all of the different bodies. And that's really beautiful. That's really beautiful. And that's really nice, because it's giving me, that's why I think Earth said that, when I asked if Mama Earth was okay, like how she felt about that, she said it was her safe space. And it's making me think about what it's like for a mother to get her body back after she gives birth. And it's just her body again. And like maybe even especially after menopause, when you're no longer, your body is just your own. It's not connected to being able to create life. It's not connected to feeding children. It's not connected to bearing children. It's just your own. It's not connected to a period. It's just your own at this point. That's kind of what it feels like. And I feel like we're getting into crone energy. Like I feel like Earth has gone through, so I think in the times before Earth was the maiden, I think that this era of Earth has been the mother. I think that after climate change hits its peak and we go through the death cycle of Earth, I think we're going, and the death cycle, I think, could also be linked to menopause. I think we're going to enter Earth's crone era. And I think that's going to be so fucking awesome. And oh my God, this is so crazy because I had a dream, my first ever very, very positive sex dream, like 3 nights ago. It was on the 15th. 4 nights ago? 3 nights ago. And in the dream, it was an old couple, and they looked like the same person, to be honest. I don't know how I knew that it was a man and a woman and that they were different people, but looked very similar, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful energy. And yeah, I think we're moving into the crone era for Earth. And I think it's going to be badass. I think it's going to be amazing. And I think that's also why we're moving beyond, such simple understandings of gender. Because once you're past menopause, the experience of womanhood is completely redefined, because so much of your life as a woman is defined by the fact that you can create life. And so much of womanhood is defined by that. And that's great and all, but, it's kind of, it's so simple, and it doesn't really allow for the complexity and the vastness of what divine feminine energy really means, which is energy that exists within all of us. But the crone era of women really, really exemplifies the complexity and the vastness of our experience. The crone era of anyone, because feminine energy exists within anyone, so not just women. And so this crone era is going to be really powerful, because this is also why we're in an era where it's like your purpose is just to be here. Because once you access the crone era, before that, the purpose is to be a mom, the purpose is to be a whatever. Now it's like, no, your purpose is just to be and do whatever you want. And that's really, really powerful, because we're accessing the unknown, we're accessing darkness, and we're manifesting what we desire. We're manifesting whatever we want. It's open space. It's dark energy. It's the goddess. It's Lilith. Oh my God, I said 2222. It's Lilith. She's like spearheading this, and she's helping Earth also heal, and she's helping Earth bring out. She's like, oh my God. Oh my God. So Hel is a soul midwife, and she is helping Earth, and her and Lilith, and Persephone, and Aset, and maybe Artemis, all the goddesses, are helping Earth give birth to her crone existence. And they're helping Earth rise. It's like a kundalini rising, helping Earth rise her dark feminine energy. This is going to be awesome. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. It's so cool. Like, what the hell? Hell yeah. This is going to be really awesome. What a shocking turn of events. You know what this makes me want to do? Hold on. Well, it's like they said, I'm an outdoor girl. And that's so funny that I'm singing Persephone's song right now, because I'm literally listening. I mean, Persephone is in this pile. She was, girl, just go to Google Docs. She was in this pile with New Beginnings. Okay, so Lilith. Oh, and this is also mythology is just another form of nonfiction, and yeah, so anyone who says that Lilith isn't real can kiss my booty, because she's real to me. Okay, so I wrote this down in April 11th, 2022. I saw 1222, 288, and 9. Divine wisdom will be revealed through the healing of past earth patterns leading to salvation. Secrets lie in the story of Lilith, independence, and the first love story on earth. Righting this wrong will bring justice to the goddesses and bring sacred unity to the divine feminine. Fuck yeah. I was talking about the unity between Eve and Lilith. Earth beings have inherited the karmic debt of severed romantic relationships and also the severed sisterhood and mother-daughter relationship as well. Because of this betrayal, which involved the physical reality and the spiritual realm, the divine feminine was betrayed by the spirit world and by those on earth. The goddesses want justice, and they gonna get it. Period. Oh shit. Okay, yeah, because then it was 232 or 323. 8. The wounded healer seeks soul forgiveness, healing. Healing is struggling to take place because of the inherited, now generational and ancestral trauma, especially for the divine feminine held in the womb, epigenetics, and surrender, tired of fighting. She desires liberation from the sacred lust that positions her as an object for universal pleasure, access, and fertility, exploited for her ability to expand, the replication of her creation in all things, while the erasure of her name. What? Celestial alignment comes from harvesting our intuition, speaking up, and using our voice aligned with the earth to create a storm of truth that will wash over time and reveal the truth. Queen of Swords energy. The goddesses have been speaking to us in a hidden language. We need to use our voice to share her messages as well as our intuitive voice. We have completely minimized the goddess. To fully understand her expansiveness, we must understand ourselves, all of ourselves. The moon is angry, the earth is angry, the universe is angry. They want and demand balance. A step below is a step out of balance. The divine feminine rules the realm of death and darkness. The ancestors are working with the goddesses. And that's on that. And hold on, because there's another part. Goddesses, suffering, and menopause. Hold on. I want to look at where menopause is. Okay, so look at this. I'm just going to read you guys this because I think it's important. So I wrote this April 18th, 2022. It's titled Goddess, Suffering, and Menopause. It is important for the ancient goddesses and ancestors to reclaim death and the representation of their pain. There is a disconnect. There is a need to recognize the suffering despite spiritual awareness, that suffering has always coexisted with spiritual connection for incarnating beings, especially pain through the body. There is much disassociation living through the mind, dreams, and soul out of the body due to the traumatic reality of life as a human being. This is why the physical is very important. The body needs to be recognized and cared for in the spiritual realm as deeply as the soul is cherished. The desire for youth is connected to the spiritual realm and incarnating realms because of its connection to health and closeness to birth, a time when our souls are most untainted. As we grow older, we are neglected in our incarnations in the human reality, but also in the spiritual. It seems that there is not much support for the aging, incarnating being. Perhaps this connection to sex and fertility is aided by feelings as though we are only of value to the spiritual realm when we are providing more bodies for souls to be housed in. This is the time when we are most special, most seen, and loved. I can imagine it's a difficult task, though I also believe the Great Mother and Goddess gave us the gift of menopause to allow for the feminine to die in her motherhood and rebirth again, this time without the expectation for her to create. Menopause. And men beginning menopause. The reason. I was reading this poem on my TikTok explaining why I identify as a non-binary woman, and I wasn't really explaining why, I was just announcing that I do. And I was talking about the he and she and the her and him or whatever I was saying. But anyways, I was talking about language and why we're in, seeing the way that our titles or the different like gendered titles are put into each other to show that it's all connected. So funny that men is what leads menopause, and there's really nothing about, and it's like the emergence of the man within the woman, because now we get to experience the more masculine energy of not having to focus on physically creating life through our bodies, but getting to experience creation in a different way and experience life from a different aspect, which is more of the masculine energy of, not having to think about labor or pregnancy or periods or any of that. And it's men, it's beginning, and that's the beginning. So menopause, that's so interesting. Oh, pause. Okay, anyways. Though I also believe the Great Mother and Goddess gave us the gift of menopause to allow for the feminine to die in her motherhood and rebirth again, this time without any expectation for her to create. Menopause, or old age, is the gift of the goddesses to women and feminines to be more than laborers. There will be a revolution for the crone. I was just saying. All of these dreams of afterlives free of imperfections is a message to the universe about the difficulties of life. It is a plea as much as a wish for the truth to be acknowledged, for the long-lasting trauma associated with incarnating to be taken seriously, despite our incarnating lives being treated quite trivially in the spiritual realm. There is a sadness and desperation to be accepted lovingly into the afterlife, to be held in safety because there is so much abandonment and suffering taken on by souls when incarnating that goes without accountability or revolutionary action. There is a finality that many of us are now searching for because we will not continue to be thrown into the fire and born again for one's awareness when our screams and terror is ignored. We will instead go into the dark, into stillness. At least there is healing and potential for a new way of being, especially for women. Our experiences around sex and the creation of life can even be different, with children not needing to tear through us. Our value does not come from our strength, pain, or resilience. We do not need to be traumatized in order to earn our place as mothers and as beings of meaning. Much like doulas of birth, there are doulas of death. In the spirit world, we play an active part as souls in the creation of our life. Should we not, as incarnating beings, create art plans for death as well? Not just the will for those we leave behind, but a plan for ourselves transforming through the death state. What if in these contracts we vowed to remember our lives, we vowed to heal our trauma, and vowed to create systems of support for incarnating beings in the spiritual realm based on our experiences? The ancient Egyptians made plans for themselves, and they worked with ancestors and incarnating beings to ensure they had a safe passage. Perhaps we should do the same. How do we develop a spiritual council for our death? Who is entrusted? Who are the sacred and healing guides on earth who can help with this? And where can we go? We need healing death centers that create ceremony out of the passage and celebrate. The incarnating world is its own spiritual realm. We must begin to treat it as such. Oh my God, Natalie, you're so fucking smart. We have power and control too over what may come next. We and our bodies have a say. There is an honoring of the physical that we see through the ancient Egyptians. Physical existence is a strength of incarnation, and material is an element that helps us to connect with ancient ancestral energies. We can historicize and archive ourselves, but also distant times, our form of time travel, memories, and knowledge locked into the physical like crystals in Lemuria. Bitch, who even... Whoa. Like, sometimes I really... Wow. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that was revolutionary what I just wrote. I'm not gonna lie to you. It absolutely was. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, period. watch your words. Watch these words. This is awesome. What is this forgiveness energy about? Oh. Ah. So maybe we need to forgive. How can we forgive the spiritual realm? Okay, all is forgiven. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know about anyone else, but it's just like there's no point in holding on. You know, there's really no point. I don't know. I mean, I haven't, I've experienced traumatic things, but not anything, really, well, but anyways, right now, I don't feel as though there's any point to hold on to grudges. This is so interesting. Kali Ma is starting to come out. She's just started coming out. Honestly, like maybe today or yesterday she just started. But now she's here. Spiritual transformation. Very, very powerful. And we have Nematona, safe space again, and then he's been coming out left and right. Poseidon, King Neptune, sensitivity, and Leah's been coming out a little bit too. Stand your ground. Let's read Leah's because honestly I haven't actually really encountered that card, but it's interesting because I posted a video earlier today talking about how I don't really defend myself. So let's look at Leah. She's always early, never late. Okay. Leah is an Aboriginal Australian water goddess and guardian of women. Looking down from the sky, she noticed a group of women digging for roots in the dry desert. The men in the village had created certain rules so only they could leave the camp to get water. The women had to stay put, thirsty and dusty. Leah decided to intervene. She went into the mountains, dug her digging stick into the ground, and discovered a water spring that turned into a river. The women, now refreshed, formed their own community with Leah as their leader. I love that. You have an extremely giving and supportive nature. Everyone can always count on you to be there for them. You put others first. Go out of your way to understand their needs and bend over backwards to honor their requests. These are traits that often show up in empaths, healers, lightworkers, earth angels, intuitives, and sensitives. Goddess Leah is urging you to set some limits before you risk losing yourself under a pile of other people's needs, demands, and expectations. Sounds a lot like a mother moving to a crone. Crone is also the embodiment of boundaries, as in boundaries with fertility in the very earth creation of life sense. Boundaries with the period. Boundaries with asking our bodies to continuously shed and go through these cycles. It's a breaking of a cycle. It's the end of a cycle. That's why hell is there. End of the motherfucking cycle itself. Period. Leah smiles widely and assertively claims generous space for you by pushing her stick into the earth. She asks, "Are you a living saint?" "No." "Are you being a doormat?" "Possibly." "Do you have needs, dreams, and wishes of your own?" "Yes." Start putting yourself first. Ask for what you want. Ask for help and be open to receive it. You may feel uncomfortable to begin with, but my waters will enliven you. Together we'll clear stagnant patterns and find fertile new ground. That's awesome. Additional meanings. Stand up for others in human rights campaigns and or causes that highlight injustice and prejudice. Clear stuck energy with water healing. Have a shower, bath, or swim. Visualize water as energy flowing through your chakras. Write down your blocks or fears and immerse them in a water bowl to release. Leave a toxic or stale relationship. Take assertiveness training. Invocation. I claim my space in the universe. I stand up for myself. That's awesome. That's really good. Yeah, we've got water energy here too with King Neptune. Okay, they told us to ask for help, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask for help for Earth, and I'm going to ask for help for for the healing of the divine feminine energies, all of the energies, and for the balancing and the harmonizing of all energies into a collective that works in our highest and greatest good as known by the divine. Dear goddesses, all the goddesses who are watching over Earth right now, all goddesses who are watching over us, who are watching over the universe, and who live in love and live in your greatest divine light and darkness, your greatest divine balance. I'm asking you for help, me, Zanala Chisholm, and also my soul. And I'm asking you for help with healing the earth and helping the earth to bring about all the energies that are in the best alignment for her and her safety and her greatest and highest good. I'm also asking you to come and help us, show us the way, clear the energies, make it very clear to us where to go, how to bring about the harmonizing of all of our energies into what serves our highest and greatest paths as a collective and individually, as known by spirit, as known by you. We're asking to heal the goddess energy within all of us, allow the goddess energy to expand in all her forms, to be the most sacred and the most true to spirit, and the most alive in all of the senses that are positive and fulfilling the needs of you all and of us and of the planet and of the universe in the most loving divine sense. Goddesses, we ask that you enter our hearts. We ask that you enter our spaces and guide us with love. We ask that you show us the way. We ask that you clear the blockages. We ask for you to even help us with things that we do not know what to ask, that we do not know to even ask for yet. We ask you to come into our lives and lead. Help us to see how we can lead. Lead through us. Speak through us. Help us deliver our truths. Give us the courage to stand up, to use our voice. Give us the courage to go on, to progress, and to listen to each other, and to heal with each other, and to see each other, to recognize each other in all of our forms. Goddesses, we thank you, and we hope to learn more about you. Please show us more about you and what you want us to know about goddess energy, about the divine feminine, about the masculine within you, about all energies. Help us to expand our vocabulary, help us to expand our consciousness, help us to expand our heart open, and so that we can connect with all people, all beings, all energies, and so that we can move towards a place of more love for all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, goddesses. I put this energy out into the earth. I put this energy out into the universe and ask that it is received by the goddesses who need to hear it, who want to help, as known by spirit, as known by the divine. Oh. Athena, wise decision, and Persephone, new beginnings. And I said, because Athena came out backwards, I said, flipping a wise decision on its head. Or flipping something on its head, flipping a decision on its head. Athena has been coming out. I mean, Persephone, it's just so funny. It's so funny how the cards just come out. The ones that Spirit wants. It's just so funny. Goddesses, what are you? Goddesses, lead us to our new beginnings. Lead us to our new beginnings with strength and power and love. Love, always, always, always leading with love. Open our hearts to love. Open our hearts to new awareness that serves our highest and greatest good as known by the divine. Open our hearts to things we do not even know yet. Open our hearts to forgiveness. Goddesses, help us to forgive. Help us to heal. Help us to move forward and to let go of the past. Help us to surrender. And brother, right here, we're living it well. We're living it up on top. And there we go, right at the top of the deck. Divine masculine. Alrighty. Thank you, goddesses. Thank you, goddess energy. We know that you live within us. We know that you live beyond us. We know that you are ever evolving and incredible and powerful and magnetic and awesome. And we really do appreciate your presence, and we love you, simply put. So, yeah, here's Mary Magdalene, Sacred Marriage, Hathor, Soul Family. Soul Family, Hathor. Oh, I feel like Egypt is really about to be really important. I think that Egypt is another huge element in awakening this dark feminine energy, and also like in the spiritual is physical energy. Egypt, 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 Egypt. And I think even our like language is going to change. Language is going to be a huge thing, because that watch your words card continues to come out. Language, it's just going to become really expansive. We're going to get a bunch of new words, which I think is really exciting, and just expanded definitions. Okay, well, I'll see if the goddesses want me to say anything else. Earth, if you want me to say anything else. Is there anything else to say, Spirit, or should I close the energy? Anything else to say? And brother, right here, we're living it well, we're living it up on top. Feel like our life force energy is being expanded through the expansion of or through the reception of our sexual wisdom. You know what I think also? I was thinking about this when I was at the place that I was at. Crystals are, I think that stones and crystals are the same, and anything and everything can be a crystal, because I think that a crystal is just from the earth. It's solid matter from the earth, like the most dense matter. I think that's what a crystal is, from the earth. So stones, rocks, concrete, all of that I think are crystals. And when I think back to Lemuria, like part of the reason why it's important to expand our consciousness beyond the aesthetic and beyond the superficial is because we're only accessing such a small portion of the information, because we're only considering a few things crystals. And it's just the same way how we call one thing a flower versus another thing a weed, or one thing something that we can eat versus something that we can't eat. And a lot of the times it's based on preference, like what's considered a weed versus what's considered like a plant that you want in your garden. Or maybe not all the time based on preference, but I think that part of expanding our sexual wisdom is also the expanding the consciousness around what has life and what has value to us, in terms of giving life to us, and also maybe not being so self-centered and being like it's all about us. But yeah, because I think that all rocks, all dense solid matter like a rock is a crystal. And I think crystal is just a more beautiful name, but I think those are all crystals, and there's information in all of that, and we're constantly walking on that information and soaking it up. But we need to be barefoot more often so that we can really receive that energy, and we need to connect with the concrete more often, and rocks more often, that aren't just the pretty colorful ones or whatever we consider crystals to be, because spiritually I think they're all crystals, and they all hold a lot of information. And brother, right here, we're living it well, we're living it up on top. I'm wondering where you been. I'm wondering. It's the same way that our understanding spiritually of snakes is expanding. It's like the veil is just being pushed open, and it's like no longer afraid to see complexity. No longer afraid to see faces in the trees, faces in wood, faces in everything. No longer being afraid to recognize that everything is alive, because you are protected and you are safe. And the spiritual should not be something that makes us feel afraid. And if it is, then that's something that we should bring up to the spiritual world around why do I feel scared? And making sure that as an incarnating being, you feel safe. And that, you have the tools to understand that you are always safe, you're always protected. Because we deserve to feel that way. But we're seeing more. We're seeing more in the spiritual. And it's like our expansion of our understanding around the snake, because snakes get such a bad rep sometimes. But they are representative of so much healing energy, and they're representative of the underdog. And in the place that I was, we had a hidden language class with yoga, Hatha yoga, and snake is one of the positions. And whenever I think of the snake, I think of one body movement. Snake is super aligned, has to be. Doesn't have limbs. It's just that body, one body. You have to be in alignment, and that's a real gift because it teaches you the value of being one, of being a collective, and fluidity, the value of fluidity. So snake energy is also going to be huge, and we're going to learn a lot from the snake. And moving through the ground, valuing being grounded rather than being up in the air. All your perspective is from the ground unless you're lifting your whole body up in one body movement. And so also strength. You've got to have core strength in order to lift up your whole body like that. So your lower chakras need to be strong in order for your higher chakras to be lifted up and connect with the higher realms and also connect with the external world. You've got to be connected deeply within yourself and solid and grounded. And all of that is being unlocked along with a lot of sexual wisdom that's hidden within the rocks, because the sexual is the manifestation, is part of the manifestation of the physical. You can't have the physical without sexual energy. It is creative energies, creation energies, sacral chakra energy. You need sexual energy to create the physical in all understandings, because even spirit is a physical being because it's something that is. The physical is. The sexual energy creates what is. That's a really powerful thing. And we're expanding that, and that's why it's locked in the rocks. Okay, anyways, gotta go. Gotta go. Okay, bye. Run, well, Sacred Marriage. Kuan Yin. Mary Magdalene was also apparently initiated under the goddess Aset or Isis. Chakra healing. And Aditi. Kadesh. And I know she's been wanting to come out. Pele, light your fire. Okay. Bye. Thank you, goddesses. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, all of you. Thank you, universe. Thank you, earth. Thank you, earth. Thank you, earth. Thank you, earth. Love you, love you, love you. Sending you my love. Sending you my energy. Sending you my gratitude. And embracing this new beginning. We're very, very happy to receive it. Thank you. Okay, bye.